allow the two children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come. Sanji Masamato.
Hello there.
Ayekun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Ayekun diary, Ayekun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí. Ayekun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Ayekun diary, àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún dáyàrí ìbí lọ́wọ́. Bó o bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún dáyàrí ìbí lọ́wọ́. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún dáyàrí ìbí lọ́wọ́. Máyégún dáyàrí.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. It is the People's Parliament tonight. So get yourselves ready. The link to join is right there in the description of this broadcast. Okay? So just make sure that you are in a quiet place, a quiet room when you are joining. So please share the broadcasts.
Ani esunraki.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀súnraki.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ani ẹ̀súnraki.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ani ẹ̀súnraki.
Emulated the Super Eagles Have hope in Nigeria. Stop condemning Nigeria. Tinubu has message for you tonight. Please share the broadcast.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ, àyè ìṣúra Presido bá rúfin o, àyè ìṣúra gómìnà kówó jẹ, àyè ìṣúra ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa, àyè ìṣúra aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òní, ayé ìṣúra yìí òkúra olóṣèlú, ayé ìṣúra yìí ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣúra kì, ayé ìṣúra kì.
So tonight we are having our People's Parliament, and if this is your own first time of probably participating, the rules are very simple and straightforward. The first part of the broadcast, that will be me getting all of you in the mood. Now, the People's Parliament is simply you coming on this screen, expressing your own views on any issue that you feel concerned about in Nigeria, okay, or about Nigeria. However, the rules, like I said, is that the first half is myself presenting, like kind of like catching up. Then at the time the parliament will be declared open, all you have to do is to click on that link. Use that link in the description. The device that you probably want to use, whether it is your phone, your laptop, or your tablet, this device must not be the same device you are using to watch these broadcasts. All right? It has to be a different one. Or you would have to close this broadcast. If you are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, you would have to close the broadcast to join us. You can go back to it once you have your own shot. The good thing about People's Parliament is that participants are random and from all over the world. And this also presents an opportunity to those who feels like we are not being fair to the criminals ruining Nigeria. They have a very much kind of, clearer perspectives of things that we don't know. You can also join us. Nobody is going to bully you. It's a safe place, okay? The highest is that somebody is going to say, I disagree with you. They won't have to come at you just anyhow, okay? It is not the same as when you are commenting and attacking yourselves. Leave that behind. If you are a Lagos Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiri, an humbled slave, sophisticated morono, a crumb eater, crumb chaser, ass licker, or, ricer. We have names for you, but that doesn't mean that we are going to now treat you with disdain. All right? We would like to hear from you too. Don't just be a keypad warrior for what you believe in. And you believe strongly that Tinubu probably has some clearance that we can't see because we don't like him. You could probably bring in your torch or your torchlight and join the parliament. Unfortunately, most of the times, even those who secretly support Emilokon, APC, Egbekegbe, even when they join the parliament, they are most of the time unable to defend that publicly. They are mostly people that will tell you, let us just pray. I don't think Nigeria should know that stuff. You get. However, everyone is free to come and speak your mind. It is a safe place. Having said that, we are going to open the first chapter of the broadcast tonight. and that is coming from Koolu. Remember, yesterday Nigeria qualified, Nigeria Super Eagles qualified for the AFCON final, and that has sort of, vibrated all over the world, including non-Nigerians too. However, Nigerians who have been through hell in the hands of APC, Egbekegbe, they have been longing for at least a win, something that can take their minds away from the failure, the disaster, the tragedy, and the hardship that APC, Egbekegbe, has brought upon them, including the division. The divided Nigeria was united for a few hours because of the footballs. So when the politicians started congratulating, well, it all started from when Shitty Man was cited as a delegation of Tinubu to the event, right? People were like, hey, don't bring bad luck here. Don't come and destroy this. Don't come and ruin this, blah, 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 blah. Nigerians. So the game became a tougher one against South Africa that midway, halftime, people were already preparing how to roast Shitty Man. Then the report said Shitty Man had to leave the stadium halftime. It's unconfirmed though, okay? Just so you know that as much as Nigerians were trying to celebrate this win, something that, and I mean, what do you call that again? Something that brought a kind of undescribable joy, a joy that makes you forget all the worries, everything. They've not felt like that in years. So they wanted to celebrate it alone. They don't want any politician to come in and begin to kind of sound, philosophical about it. So every politician that comes in to congratulate the Super Eagles, as they call it, all right, they will fire at them. Shut up your mouth, you useless people. You are our enemy. Even last night, last night, during the game, some of them on social media, they were making offering to the gods. All the gods, we offer. If you can please let Nigeria Super Eagles win, we offer 2 politicians to you. Take any of them and just make sure that Nigeria qualify for the final. As part of the online banter, Baba, people will die yesterday for watching the match. Those ones they have reported, about 5 people died watching the broadcast. So Nigerians now pick the ones that are related to APC, Egbekegbe, like that man who died, Ojuigbo, that died in Delta. That was the one who was also lying on Nigerian TV. That if Tinubu has assembled intelligent people, blah, 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 economists, he has assembled this or that to save Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. So Nigeria shall enter everybody, say, don't share this with us. You Olori Brukusque, like that. So as all of that were going on, now Koolu has come out to add his own voice. That's the first one I'm going to let you listen to. Okay? Koolu said, there is hope and you should stop hating your country. Be like the Super Eagles. As the game was almost lost, they kept hope. And at the end of the day, like the labor pain, baby step. Mind you, it was at an event organized for him. Everybody has been asking, which major project Tinubu don't embark on since in Hijack a government in Nigeria? Can anybody name any major project that Tinubu's government has embarked upon since they came in? Despite the fact that Nigeria has borrowed over $8 billion. That's over 9 to 10 trillion naira. Of course, now they have generated enough resources that they have also shared. If you put all of this together in the last 9 months, after they said they removed subsidies, at least they are not paying subsidy, Abi. So Tinubu's government has possibly realized over 15 trillion naira and expended them. Not just only Tinubu, I'm talking about all the states, local government as well now, like putting all of that. The last 9 months, what is the exact major project that Tinubu's government has backed upon? Is he on power? Is there any major project on infrastructure? Is there any major project on, even all the promises like student loan and all that? Anything at all? So they are tired of you asking. So they decided to start with estates. So Tinubu said they are going to build 13,112 housing units in Abuja. So he went there to go and lay the foundation to turn the sword. That was when he spoke about using the super eagles as a motivation. Now, let me promise you something. I have not seen this full video. I have the full conversation and everything there, right? But I haven't seen everything. But knowing Koolu for who Koolu is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to warn you before you watch this. Do not raise your hope like you want to hear anything sensible. So the least you can possibly take this clip as is like a comic relief. I know it's not funny. Nothing is funny anymore. But some people think everything is funny. But I'm actually saying, do not raise your hope like you want to listen to a president. You are about to listen to Ojo Bagogo, a demented Koolu. I don't know how to warn you, but people know what I mean, Sha. So yeah.
Very hopeful that it is our turn for the trophy. Our local. Your Excellencies, the Governor of Nasarawa State, Minister of Federal Capital Territory, the Secretary to the Government of Federation, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, I listen to you. The diligent planning between your office and my office took a while. I was asking, when are we going to have a groundbreaking, not a tornado? And you said I can go on my vacation, come back to do the groundbreaking. Here we are today. We are setting the goalposts right. It means Nigeria is winning the cup. Other ministers here present, all the senior government officials that have supported this program today, our royal fathers and our community developers and community leaders, distinguished members of the media, it is a great honor for me to make this historic groundbreaking here today. I've listened carefully to the able minister's theme on the housing development. He understands how to propel the engine of growth, stability, economic resurgence of Nigeria. You saw the vision when we took the ministry out of the cloakroom and make it its own independent visionary path for greatness. We know the value of housing. We appreciate the fact that it is an elixir for economic prosperity, job creation, hopefulness. Here again, let's talk to Nigerians. Let's talk to ourselves and see everything positive about our country. Yes, there's a trip of air conditioning system here. Okay, we were born in the heat, we stay it. It's our country. Even some of you burn the candle or never know the candle when you were studying. Don't be spoiled. Don't think of your country negatively. Before I left home this morning, I asked for the pledge. A print out of it. And we have to relaunch it. Relaunch it to be committed to the value, the greatness, the hope of our country. It is our country. You pledge to Nigeria, your country, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. To serve Nigeria with all your strength. You saw it on the field of play yesterday. You are all rejoicing. Every one of us love victory. We love to win. When you are positive and you are hopeful, Nigeria is winning. We didn't say it will be Eldorado, smooth all the way through, but we are confident that this country, we excel in all ramifications that is.
Nuisance lele.
I'm sorry, I warned you. I warned you. It was talking about housing, how housing will create jobs. And then from there, the thing just flew off to, the pledge. He said when he woke up in the morning, he asked them to print out the pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful and loyal. Unfaithful people, unpatriotic people, ruiners and destroyers are picking their words, and he called it the pledge. So that's why I said, don't, if you want to know something, right, about Tinubu, the man that millions of mumus are praying to God to succeed. All right. Just even when they write paper for him to read, it does go off. It is that moment that it goes off that he is himself. And you see those people clapping, They were the same people clapping for Bokuwari. They are sycophants. You have no idea. They are sycophants, even though they are political office holders. They did not, most of them didn't merit any office they are holding. And the consequences of that is what you are witnessing right now. You can just start talking about aviation right now. And from there, move on straight to what is flying, birds. And then go straight to the chicken, poultry. And from there, you can start talking about farmers. And all of that. And none of this will make any logical sense. So, but I am sorry. So what I'm going to do is that I'll give you the rest so that we can put it behind us. So I don't want to you know what I mean? I warned you, don't expect much, okay? Just laugh, all right? And that is the sick man that some educated people are telling Nigerians. You saw the ones they say he put together yesterday, Abi? Kadobi, Abi, Kadibi. You saw him yesterday. You saw Wali Oke yesterday. You saw a lot of them that they were the people that they said Tinubu appointed to come and I'll leave that for you. Here is the other part.
We will defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory in every way possible. Because we are Nigerians. We have no other country. Where we are lodging and groundbreaking, shelter is a necessity. It's a human right. And we are here just to do that. Set the record straight. From this site, groundnut seller we eat. From this site, water seller we make a living. From this site, nail sellers, carpenters, others, roof makers, we make a living. Brick and mortar, we stand the test of time and bring a glory of Nigeria brighter than we met it. Nigerians, don't look back. Look forward. Be hopeful, be assured that you have a country that cares about you, and you must care about the country. You have had the data from the Honorable Minister and his team, what they are about to do to turn the country to a large construction site for housing units. That's all I need to remind you. Standing before you as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, being faithful and committed to the economic development and prosperity of every one of you. We are given a little trust, but we build on that trust to assure you today, tomorrow, and day after of prosperity that we can create. Putting housing and the oblique corner of our vision is not the right thing. The best thing we are doing now is putting housing on the front burner of our needs. I want to say thank you, the Honorable Minister, the Minister of State, and all the team, the civil servants, and so especially thank you to the National Assembly for the accelerated review of the budget and passing of it. When we all work together, we can build together, and we will achieve together a great country for the prosperity of all of us. May God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Oh dear. I know. So now tell me, if you are a Nigerian or you are from Nigeria and you just listen to the Martin Luther King Koolu, some people take offense. They say, no, don't do that, Mayegun, please. But you know what I mean? He's trying to give a speech like Martin Luther King. All for you. Housing. A shelter is human right, and we are here to do that. To lay foundation and all of that nonsense. I can't even remember. I can't even quote him right. But he told you to be loyal and honest to Nigeria. Is Tinubu loyal to Nigeria? Do you think he is? Well, I'll leave you to your answer. So you will tell the world once you join the parliament. The most disloyal criminals are those ruining Nigeria. They have the opportunity to make Nigeria better. And what did they do? They mortgage Nigeria. I didn't even know that World Bank. Do you know that there is no real investor coming to Nigeria except those who are coming to borrow you money? World Bank, IMF, the ones that are now controlling your central bank. Well, not now. They've been controlling it for a while. Since Buhari decided to ask them for his own payouts, and they got it. So Koolu right now is also under the leash, the rope of the same World Bank, IMF. So if I tell you that your shege is just dressing up, it hasn't even started to show face. All these things you are seeing right now, they're like a riaza for the real show. You understand? This is not the real one. Now, the World Banker in Nigeria to come and facilitate another loan for Koolu, ask them, since for the past 9 months, since you have been reading all their propaganda everywhere, India is going to invest 15 billion. Russia is going to invest 30 billion. Saudi Arabia will invest $100 billion. They even said Dubai, that lifted the ban on Nigerians, visa for Nigerians, Dubai was going to invest 200 billion. Ask them, how many of such billions in the last 9 months have they been able to attract? But for those who are willing to give you money, and those that his appointees, his ministers said, even though Nigerians are suffering, they know it. Tinubu know it, but don't worry, it's for the meantime. Okay said, the rest of the world are praising Tinubu's policies. The policies that are further, that are killing people in Nigeria, impoverishing them, right? That a lot of you are cursing them. They said the world leaders are celebrating Tinubu. Why won't they? Oh, Betty saw now. Listen to this. Destiny negotiate pẹ̀lú. Whatever you are facing right now, my dear brothers and sisters, you better wear Google if you can see one. Baba, omani lati face it. You are going through hell. You have to continue going with this crop of people. They are loan sharks. They are not investors. But for Koolu, Oyibo na Oyibo. So whatever you want to call anybody that brings money, whether we borrow it or they come to invest, it doesn't matter. But do you know the problem of Nigeria? It is not how much money they bring into Nigeria. Even if the World Bank put together a facility a loan of, let's say, $200 billion. Like, say, okay, Nigeria need $200 billion to meet up the 21st century infrastructures like road, rail, air, water, and all of that, build schools and all that. They need $200 billion. And World Bank package it $200 billion and give it to Nigeria. Within a week, the entire $200 billion will disappear. You will not see it in the banks, and you will not see it anywhere in Nigeria. And that is the problem. But for Koolu, money na money. As long as they will give us money, give them what they want. For now, we have been hearing that part of waiting Koolu told them in France is that if Niger say make you pack, Burkina Faso say you should pack, you are only wasting your time. Nigeria has abundance resources, more than Niger, more than Burkina Faso. How far are you interested? Some people are already telling us so that it's not only Malabu oil deal, OPL 245E. It's not the only thing that Tinubu has willed to himself in his on his vacation to France. Okay? They said all those resources that they are killing people for terrorism here and there. France, you begin to see French forces in your forest in Nigeria. Their job, they will tell you, France is coming to help Nigeria to fight Boko Haram and terrorism. That's how the French forces will come to Nigeria. And guess what? Their job is to secure all those resources of interest in every part of Nigeria. Chase all the terrorists and the whatever bandit they call them away from there. Secure the areas and begin exploration without any of you having an idea what is going on. I just quickly give you this, so you know, you can pocket it. World Bank with Koolu, ladies and gentlemen, because Koolu is doing great.
No, we will.
Much. Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be back in Nigeria. Last time I was here was in 2012, so of course so much has happened during this time. But I'm also coming at a time when it's really important and quite encouraging to see all the important reform steps that are being taken in the country. And the partnership between Nigeria and the World Bank is very, very comprehensive and very fruitful. And we're here to make sure that we can continue to be very supportive as these reforms are being implemented and putting the economy on a path towards recovery. And that's what we really want to do. So that's why it's important for me to be here. That's why I have been really pleased with the discussions we've had over the last 2 days, including today, of course, meeting with His Excellency the President. The outcome of the meetings are really that the World Bank will be continuing very much to support the reforms through various instruments that we have. And we will be actually stepping up our financial support to Nigeria in light of all the different initiatives that are being taken and all the needs that the economy has. So while we already have a large program, from this visit I see that the program will actually grow even further.
Finance Minister, how important is this?
Thank you very much. You have heard just from Ajaero, the Managing Director of Operations of the World Bank. We have just come from a courtesy call on Mr. President, which he gracefully allowed, which included not just the members of the World Bank Group and Jeddah and her entourage, people from IFC and senior people from the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, but also 16 ministers of finance and governors of the World Bank from West and Central Africa. So it was a mini summit of West and Central African finance ministers with the World Bank Group. And of course, issues of development, issues of concessionary financing, and increasing the level of concessionary financing to West and Central Africa in this particular case, well, what was on the agenda. And we reported to Mr. President that we had a very robust discussion, and emphasis was laid on increasing, as we have just heard from the Managing Director Operations of the World Bank, emphasis was on increasing resources to Nigeria, to West and Central Africa, and also improving electricity access, growing the social safety net, providing greater support for digitization and technological development of our economies, and ultimately to assist in our search for solutions to the issue of development and leading our various countries out of poverty. And we had a very successful discourse. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our economist is Sonu. You saw where OK started dropping a big word again. But let me explain it to you again. All right? Loan comes with conditions. Investments doesn't come with hard conditions on the part of the receiver. When people say, for example, let's say automaker from Germany, they've discovered that half of their raw materials that they use in making cars, they were from Africa, and they could find a large deposit of them in Nigeria. So to save cost of importing them to Germany, they can decide to set up a plant. They may not start building cars. It may just be a processing plant for that raw materials. All right? But that's that. To start, they may say, okay, we are going to Nigeria to go and invest in so place with the amount of 1 billion euro. So we will create 10,000 jobs. And then the multiplier effect of that can create up to 50,000 jobs. So now, if everything goes well, we plan to increase our investment in that place to 10 billion in 5 years, based on the potential of the, our choice of what they want to make, right? That is investment. When you see World Bank in your country, they are not investing. They are borrowing you money. And borrowing you money means, investment will improve your economy, which means it will improve your local economy, which means it will create jobs. It will create its own economy around that investment, including the areas, communities that are close to the area of investment. The investor will pay taxes to Nigeria. They will help Nigeria employ Nigerians. Those employed Nigerians will pay taxes to Nigeria. Is a win-win situation if you can attract investors to your country. But if all you could attract are lenders to your country, IMF, World Bank, they are not coming to develop your country. They are coming to ruin it. And I'll tell you how. Maybe I don't tell you about investors. Now, when you see World Bank talking about electricity, talking about infrastructure, talking about what else did we said, even talking about security, especially when they are mentioning reform, reforms in the area of this, area of that. Now, what happened is that as a borrower, you will draft out what you need, okay? For example, you will say, we need 200 million to fight polio. You put that under health. We need $1.5 billion to take out of school children to build schools so that we can put our children back in school, okay? We need 1.5 billion. You put that under education. We need to modernize our rail system, okay? There are some of these that we need to build dual gauge, dual gauge, dual gauge carriageway, I don't know. Anyway, to modernize your rail, right? You need $3 billion. You put that under transportation. Like that. So when you now put the whole thing together, they will say, how much is everything in total? $9 billion. Okay, $9 billion. World Bank will now come and say, when they receive that request from your finance ministry in collaboration with your central bank, who will authorize the request for that loan, okay? So when they receive that, they will now call them, because it's their money. So they will now call their own shareholders and all that and say, Nigeria needs $9 billion. So what do you think we should do? They will now go and check on the security of their money. The security of that money is that will they get their money back even if Nigeria blow that money? How can they get it back without losing their money? Even if they give it to Nigeria, Nigeria blow it, because they know the African countries that are very, very corrupt. So in this regard, they will begin to now negotiate the percentage, the conditions, the collateral. In most cases, what they usually do is that they will tell you to go and devalue your currencies. Now, this is not the fault of World Bank per se. Sure you get. It is the evil handiwork of your criminal leaders who have no intention of using those money for what they are meant for. Now, if World Bank gave you money with ridiculous interest rates because of your credit, Abi, now you take that money, you modernize your railways, okay? And then you improve your infrastructures. You modernize your electricity generation and distribution. You improve that. And all of this, even though the interest may kill you, but if you don't steal a dime from it, there is still possibility that you can come back from the position of a borrower, position of weakness, using other people's money to build your own wealth in your own country, and come back and challenge the interest they gave you and say, okay, we don't want to pay that interest again. That's too much for us. By then, you already have electricity. You already have modernized the railways. Your schools are already modernized and improving, right? So World Bank, what will they do? They will call you and say, okay, let's renegotiate then. You can't pay 30%, Abi. What about 25%? No, 25% is too much. It's going to affect us. Baba, the worst is they will tell other people not to borrow you money, Abi. But you see all the billions you've managed to get from them, you would have used that to improve your country, improve your own credit, and, Nigeria Naira has nothing backing it. So the World Bank will now tell them to go and devalue their money. And then you will wake up once they decided, oh yeah, we'll do it. The World Bank will now say, okay, we'll give you the money, but we want you to devalue the Naira more. So the people that are telling you that Naira is finding its level, Naira is floating, it's still going to go up and then it will come down, they are not telling you that they are already borrowing against that Naira. They are already borrowing excessively against that Naira without investing those loans in improving the Naira. You don't send a back to square zero. They are waiting for the countries that will forgive them debt forgiveness. So when you see those people in your country, be careful. Some people held to be somewhere where he made a statement around this issue of corruption and other stuff. And, I want to share that before we start the parliament. Now, you need to get yourselves ready. The parliament is going to be open soon.
Heads governors and local government chairman should have the same access with the governor. Even what you said about recruitment, because I was governor, so I can mention that. Go and ask anybody. Most governors don't even interfere in recruitment of judges. I didn't know somebody appointed judges. I said, me. I didn't know. We just have judicial council. I said, go and ask them. I never interfered in anything, not even in admission. One of the first experiences I had was a vice chancellor in our university came and said that the allocation for office of the governor of admission. I said, VC, if it's not that because you're a good man, I would have sacked you today. If anybody wants admission, let him go. If you have cut-off point, let them go. That even me, I didn't pass jam the first time. Me, I did not hit it. So let them go and repeat, like I repeated then. So when will you come down and say, let them go and repeat that. That I took jam and I didn't get the cut-off point. So I went second time. I made sure I was on top. So if anybody fails, let me go and repeat. There's nothing in that. And these are things who have cultivated here. Parents are not getting involved with the admission of their parents. They're not getting involved of their children. They're not getting involved with the exam, with everything. Who says that? No. We need to start. Governors, I was governor. I didn't get involved with any of those things. You do the right things. That is the only way you can endanger followership, respect, and anything. If anybody tells you that Peter will be appointed in judge, let him come. I didn't even know how they appoint judge. They just said these people will be sworn in as judges. I swore them in. And I went to court. And everybody knows that I've never given any judge money. If you give judgment against me, okay, one day you judge against yourself. Because that thing you did that was wrong will come around to affect you.
That was Obi talking about how a lot of us enabled corruption, and I mean, in getting involved in them to the point that, well, you heard him. Mind you, people have been expressing their disgust and anger against this Tinubu's government. Yesterday, the APC, Egbekegbe, raised alarm that opposition are encouraging Nigerians to start a national protest. As if to say, somebody needs to encourage you to start a protest to ask the criminals that are ruining everything right now to either man up or get the hell out of that place. In fact, what is man up? Get the hell out of that place. Do you really need anybody to encourage you to do that? Well, if you do need somebody to encourage you to do that, definitely you are not really seeing any shege. You probably have better off. You know what I mean? So people have been organizing, mobilizing themselves, women up north and all that. And that seems to be sending some shivers down the spine of the propagandists around the Koolu. So they started, ruffling the water in order to catch a fish. And I think they've caught a very big one. NLC, the same NLC, they have decided to hijack that by calling for a national strike over hardship in Nigeria. So that they have given Tinubu 14 days to make life better for all of you, or they will go on national strike. They are going to go on strike. So that's the attempt. And I kind of smell the poop of Tinubu on this NLC this time. And what is the smell? The stench is so rotten that you can tell it's probably from the pampas of the same Tinubu, like no doubt. Ajaero, or whatever his name is, right, was the guy who said in June 2023 that they gave Tinubu 14 days to reverse the removal of fuel subsidy, or they will go on national strike. Later, they said they extended it to 1 month so that they can negotiate. Negotiate what? Una de mad, Then it was the same Ajaero. For a few hours to that day, they called it off. They have reached an agreement with Tinubu. What was the agreement? Tinubu said they are working on palliatives to reduce the sufferings of the people for removing subsidy. So because of that, no strike again. Okay. Then this guy said they have waited for another 3 months, or sometimes in September. We have waited for 3 months. We are telling Tinubu now that he must increase the salary of workers. If you don't increase the salary of the workers, we are going to go on national protest. That was the beginning of the shege then, or like, you know what I mean? So Tinubu now came and said they will give them 35,000 naira plus their salaries for 6 months. Oh, we have called it off now. We will now give them time to work out how to give you 500,000 naira minimum wage. And the same Ajaero. They said they are going to go on strike very soon. Because, I mean, that was around October, November. Why again Ajaero? They said now only once Tinubu paid the 35,000. Since then, they no collect. And since things have gone really worse in Nigeria, they are going to protest. When? December. By December, he never even mentioned it. Now Ajaero is back. Okay, yeah, they also wanted to protest because they beat him up in Imo State. Remember that? But a day before the protest, he also called it off. Okay, sorry, they actually did protest somewhere, but they called it off after that. That was the protest that they beat up their president, Ajaero. Now, Ajaero has sort of jumped into it again. NLC says they want to protest for the hardship of Tinubu's government. So they are giving him warning. They are giving him 2 weeks warning. So Tinubu have 2 weeks to make sure that your shege is reduced. Okay. So if your shege no reduce, if dollar no crash, in 2 weeks, Ajaero is going to go on national protests. It is an attempt to control the narratives for the opposition. That's for those of you who are believing in them. For those of you who they don't push to the wall, I promise you, when it reach you, when they do enter body for real, you know those deceivers, you will not need anybody to say it is time. You will know it is time. But for now, make everybody the fool around. Okay? 2 weeks, so Tinubu must reduce the price of gari, price of rice, price of petrol, or he must pay you 500,000 naira salary and all that blah, 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 blah. But in 2 weeks' time, they will tell you they have reached an agreement. Tinubu has promised them that he's going to do that. I'm going to give you everything you said. We are working on it. And then they will come out and tell you, Tinubu is a very, very listening president. All of this, they are messing up with your mind and your head. I'm saying this to you because I have seen it happen many times. Many, 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 many times. If you wait for any organization, if you wait for anybody to say, oh yeah, it is time, it's because you are not ready. When you are ready, sure. Breaking news, it don't start from Sokoto. They don't start them from Delta. People don't begin this whole thing. They don't loot shop, destroy everywhere. Coffee don't they? Kaduna, everywhere don't bust you. That's where it go be. That's when you will know that it's time. It's time. What time is it? Revolution o'clock. I'm telling you. But if you are still waiting for anybody to say, yeah, let's go. Let's move. When are we going? When are we going to hit the street? Baba, it's because you still get money to load data. The day we say you go, you don't go get any money to load any data at all. Apart from the fact that you will not have any money to feed at all. That moment, nobody will tell you that it is time. So I'll leave it at that and let everybody come on as parliamentarians to come and share theirs with us tonight. So if you are watching me, listen, there is a link in the description of this broadcast. Okay? That link is the link to this studio. So you will be one of us on the screen. Now, listen as well, please. When you are joining, I want you to please put on your clothes. Stay in a quiet place. Let there be light. Do not lie down on your bed with your cover on you and your shower cap on your head. Resting your head on your pillow, holding your phone like we are doing TikTok. This is not TikTok. There will be a time for TikTok on my Gunstari Political on a regular basis, okay? But for now, if you are joining the parliament, please do not use the same device that you are using to watch these broadcasts. I mean, the same one you are watching me on right now. You will need to close this broadcast that you are watching. Then open the link in the description. Put up your name. Stay in a quiet place and put your face on the camera. Please don't put the camera where we are going to be begging you to put your face on, please. If you are not comfortable going public, do not use that link. So yeah, apart from that, people were celebrating. Shittiman was also in Côte d'Ivoire to celebrate the Super Eagles. And there's a video where it was like people were avoiding him. But there's actually another video where the players were avoiding him in their dressing room, right? And there's another clip where some of them actually stopped by to, to acknowledge him and say hello, and like, cuddle him and all that stuff. And then eventually, when everyone was in the room, they all came together to take a group selfie. I put all the three together. So make a kind of end all disagreement or whatever it is, dragging. So that was in Côte d'Ivoire. I think it was in Abidjan. Maybe not. Anyway, back to Osun, where Governor Ade Jackson, Governor Ajogba Trophy, Ade Dancer was so happy. I think it was after the final whistle as well. I know. But that's also part of it. That's the mood of a lot of Nigerians, including the politicians. People are so tired of losing. Everywhere, drama every day, killings, kidnappings, poverty, corruption, all this. Every day. Just something to be happy for. That's what they were looking for. And a lot of them felt like that was what Nigeria would have been like if APC was completely handed in that your charade election. I was like, well, it didn't happen. So I already have some parliamentarians in the studio. So I am going to start bringing them on and we'll share slots. And then, like I said, this is a free space. Also, okay, because it is parliamentarian, the People's Parliament. Remember that, if you disagree with anyone, if you feel like somebody or your view that you strongly believe in, and some people are not going to agree with you, just know that as much as you have, you are entitled to your own opinion, other people are entitled to theirs too. There is something I want to remind all of us of, okay? There has never been a time that anybody has been penalized for violating this. And I don't think we would ever violate that, okay? It is the fact that you have to respect everyone. with their views. You can disagree with them. I disagree completely with what he said. And then go on and tell us your own view, okay? It's always interesting. And it is random. You have no idea who is going to show up on your screen. Tonight, this afternoon, I received a message from Princess. So Princess was kind of telling me how somebody came into a compound, okay? And then just like that, walked in like somebody who was there to carry out work, all right? And this person walked in with another Okada guy waiting at the gate, and they stole about 2 or 3, is it 4? Yeah, they stole, what do you call that in Nigeria again? Kegs, liters, yeah, or those 20 liters, 25 liters jerry cans, right? Of fuel from a compound. So we might not be talking enough. We have been talking about poverty, hardship. A lot of us may not kind of be talking enough of the increase in crime and how daring, or should I say, how these criminals are becoming more and more daring, and even people who probably never believed they will end up as criminals are today your neighbors that you believe had jobs and all that. The economy has affected them to the point that they have turned to armed robbers. Until one day you will see your neighbor on screen arrested for a crime, and you'll be wondering, no, I thought he was all right. These are also the people we don't really talk about. Anyway, I'll leave the screen ready now. So I have, I have people who. Oh, thank you very much there. So for those who are ready, I'm bringing them on the screen. But we have those who haven't really. They don't show me that they are ready. Okay, their cameras are not really on, and those yes, your camera is on, but it's kind of, you are not in the right place. So, like I said, it's going to be a first come, first serve basis. Okay, so we all have everyone has 5 minutes. All right, but if there's any time that I sort of get involved in what a parliamentarian is saying, right, then you have the grace of an extension of extra 2 minutes. Now, the thing is that sometimes when you are talking, you probably will have no idea how kind of fast the time is going as well. But you see, when I raise up my hand and I say something like, well, thank you so much, this is just me trying to say, wrap it up now. Like, if you have anything else you want to say, please say it so that you won't be out of time. Please, let's remember this. So, good evening, sirs. Yes, for those who are already with me, now let's go with Sawole. Now, the parliamentarian that will go first will be you, and I have Naxi, who is also ready. You are going to go after Sir Wallex there, Wale. So, and as others come through, they will also take their turns, okay? So, thank you so much. Sir, you can unmute now. Oh, you've done that. How are you doing?
Baba Mayegun, good evening. Oh.
Good evening, sir. Baba.
Just quickly, I always listen to you at the background. I never, come on. It's quite unfortunate that the criminals holding the country down, they are getting away with a lot of things. And sometimes I don't really blame them, because the people you are trying to convince to say, look, these people, you shouldn't pity them, but they are the one that will be accusing you instead of them to be fighting the people that are causing them suffering. So it's really difficult, and I don't know how you do it. It's just like, why are you fighting for these people? They're not ready to rescue themselves until they get to the point where they start to become cannibals, eating each other. But I don't know how you do it.
You said something there, sir, right? You said, how do you do it? These are the people you are trying to rescue. But let me say something here. I am not trying to rescue anybody. And don't think we are trying to rescue anyone. We are trying to save ourselves from these people who don't have a clue of how they are self-destructing. You know, if all these things, calamities, are limited to those who choose this, right? We probably wouldn't have to say anything. But if we don't do something, whatever we are doing right now, I consider it like we are doing it for ourselves. Because if nothing is done, eventually, right, we will be consumed by all of these too.
True.
Yeah. But
True.
anyway, that's the only motivation I always get, to say, if this is the little I would do, posterity should be kind to people like us, who are very fair enough, even when it was not popular, to be speaking out. Sir.
Right. So looking at that, I feel like someone like you probably, when they said he who wants to come to equity must come with a clean hand, I believe you will come with a clean hand. But when you look at majority of Nigerians, indirectly, directly, they have people either in the family, as a friend, as a father, as a relative, being in this charade called, dog eats dogs kind of thing. And sometimes I used to wonder that at what point would people be accountable and transparent in their own dealing? Like they will say, if you want to pull the plug in someone's eyes, you try to pull the one in your eyes first. Be just. But how many people could do that? So it makes the criminals get away with a lot of things, because when they steal this money, who do they give it to? Is their cronies, their companies? It's just like, until people realize that, what do I need all this for? Why can't I, make the country great? But they never think of that. I think it's down to wickedness, selfishness, and it's everywhere. Although these people, when they get into power, the question I always ask myself is, who are they? They are part of us. They grew up from our, little community or state or wherever. But how are we going to get them out of this oppression? I always ask myself, until every single one of us listen and, go with your flow, with the education, with the awareness that, look, we shouldn't be allowing these people. But it's quite unfortunate that many people still, maybe when they get what to eat, they forget about the sufferness. Everybody turned to cannibals and nothing happened. So I don't really pity them, to be honest. Quickly, before I end it, these what is it called, vice president, or the guy, I pitied him though, because I look like it looked like an orphan in the midst of the boys jubilating. Why? What has he got to do there? Do people have conscience though? I pity him because he was shunned at some point, but at the same time, maybe they have to kind of look for cheap publicity to think that people still love them because they are winning. Anyway, that's just my only little contribution.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you have a good evening, sir. Sir Wallace there. So that's our first parliamentarian there, and it's like, quick, straight to the point, and indeed the points were made. So I'm going to go straight to Naxi, but before you speak, sir, right? I'm going to have Emmanuel. You are going to go after him, okay? Please remember, right? And after Emmanuel, it's going to be how do you, sir? And then after yourself, it's going to be Bishop. So when like that, in case if I forget, please remember those slots, okay? Yes, sir. Naxi.
Good evening, Maego. Happy birthday, belated birthday once again. And I have to say you're doing a good job. Last time I was here was when you were really, shouting on top of your voice about the election and telling everybody don't waste your time and everything like that. But I guess we needed to prove you wrong. That was why we all went to the election and came back. And everybody can see what has gone on. But what strikes me most is that our people have not learned anything. The other day, some of them were at Teslim Balogun Stadium, shouting on top of their voices. And it still bothers me when somebody comes to the street to be throwing peanuts to you. What do you think the person, it means nothing. You don't mean anything to them. Imo State governor came, told us 4,000 people will be in Europe
by December.
You started reminding them again. One thing I know is that these people listening to you, they are in the comment section. They ran to Arise TV and said, "Oh, we didn't promise them to go. We said we will bring the jobs." They swing around everything.
Are you serious? I haven't
Yes. It's in Arise TV. The Commissioner for Information came to Arise TV and said, "No, we never promised them that they misconstrued the governor. He never promised them to go to Europe. He said he will bring the jobs. Peradventure, anybody now want to travel after the job, that's when they will pay the ticket." And this was like a day after you were still reminding them that where is the 4,000 jobs. Now, you kept on reminding them this week about student loan. Today they put in their papers, February 21, Koolu is coming to launch student loan. You know what pains me is that our people are so gullible. You see all these Ronus that are crying left, right, and center. Nothing is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong. If they go back to the streets now and start sharing 500 naira, all those Ronus will run back and pick it up and start praising APC. We need to, in fact, we need to get down nitty-gritty to letting our people know that poverty has no name other than pain. People need to hear, learn, and unlearn. Our people need to be like Senegalese. Nobody is helping anybody. We are helping ourselves. The earlier we get on the street and end this shenanigan, the best for us. People are not learning. Medications are up on the roof. When people are sick back home, my God, we bear the brunt. We in diaspora bear the brunt. They are calling you for paracetamol. They are calling you for water. They are calling you for everything. Sometimes there are some calls they will make you get ashamed. Like, why are you guys calling me for this? But after I went to Nigeria last year, I realized that you don't need to blame these people. They don't even have the money to buy it. But the painful thing is that when election comes, dubious Dapo was in Ivory Coast yesterday telling us that the boys won because it's renewed hope. And they are forgetting that most of these boys are obedient. They all went there to shame themselves. That's why the boys ignored them. It's not like they don't know that they are vice president or whatever that is in there. They know that it's an illegitimate government. They are playing for their own life, their own names, not for all these shenanigans they are all going to, Ivory Coast to go do. So please, Maigun, your message resonates a lot. I'm telling you, I was in a party in December. There were people talking about your show that I never believed were watching. I'm like, oh God, you guys watch Maigun too? Keep on saying it. But I feel the message should change now to we're not helping anybody than ourselves. We all need to get out there. And the day this contraption will end, even in Europe, in Africa, in Nigeria, we all need to get out at the same time. Storm the embassies. Storm the streets. Tell these people to go away. Dollar has gone up to 1,500. Everything has collapsed, Bible.
I know. Thank you so much.
To travel from here back to home is terrible. But like I said, thank you so much for your message. It resonates a lot. I will really appreciate all you're doing. I will keep on appreciating you. And I want to say once again, thank you for the opportunity. Have a wonderful day.
I've been part of the entire team too. God bless you, sir. I appreciate that. Now, that's some, straight to it as well, point that a lot of you can relate with. A lot of us can relate with everything he said there, right? But except something changes, except we change, nothing changes. You know that. Now, without wasting much time, I'm going to go to Emmanuel. Emma, Oh, Ima just disappeared on me, so I'm just gonna stick it to with Olufemi. So it's gonna have to be your shot. Okay. Now, for everyone who still want to be part of this, remember you will need to use that link in the comment section or the one in the description. All right. So yeah, let's do it. How are you doing, sir?
Mario, good evening to you. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh, thanks so much for asking. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Grand, Baba.
I was watching the football myself, and I somehow, after the whole thing, obviously I jubilated, but I refused to say up Nigeria because there's nothing hope on the horizon. It's a country on fire. You know, it's on gunpowder, and no one seems to be paying recognition to it. And football has been like, someone said, psychos. You know, would that be real modi? Just to distract people from seeing their social infrastructure deficiencies. You go back home, no tidy road, no good water, no food. People are hungry, starving. And that is one of the reasons, because of our cultural attachment to families and friends, Nigerians in the diaspora are poorer because we are not responsible for our nuclear family just alone. We do that hot jobs and we do that long shift and all of that.
Yeah,
and we're not enjoying the money we are making because we have responsibilities lacking somewhere. And they even said we're not Nigerians. That's why we can't vote. And we are doing so much into that economy.
We are saving the country. Exactly.
That we are not even recognized. We are not recognized at all. And it bothers me when I think about what is in the budget then. What is the component of the budget? That means people's welfare is not in the budget. Because if we are doing so much and the government has no responsibility for its people, then how does that sink? It doesn't sink.
It doesn't.
You know, I think we're just moving to that cliff. We're just close to that hedge where the whole thing is going to go bonkers, to be honest. And I tell you, they won't leave because they are termites. They will eat the country until it is on its knees, finally. And guess what? Europe will come. Europe will not come. You know why? Because they're benefiting as well. Either by their petroleum company Shells or Total or whichever company they've got there. They're getting the crude oil. And now they are linking pipes to get gas from Nigeria. Because that Europe is trying to part ways with Russia. Now they want to get the gas from Africa, isn't it?
That's right.
So they won't want to do anything to break that cordialness. They will just watch, just simply they're watching the Afghanistan and the Pakistan kill themselves now. They will just watch us kill ourselves. Guess what? They've extracted the useful part of horse into their own country. The doctors are gone. The nurses are gone. The architects are gone. The engineers are gone. Who is left in Nigeria? The people left in Nigeria right now are skit makers. And guess what? Those ones don't even pay. They don't even pay taxes. I don't know how they do it. I don't think they pay taxes because that is where government should get money from. But even if they get the money, what would they do with it? They would swindle it. I'm suffering from flu. From my voice, you can hear it. But I just wanted to say something tonight. Nigeria is reacting on football. Football is a circus, just to make us distracted from the reality of things. In the next week, after the finals, win or lose, the following week, we wake up to our reality again. People will begin to get hungry again. Kids, pregnant women will be hungry again. It's a shame. It's a shame. To associate to that country is a shame, Michael.
Thank you so much, Baba. I mean, thank you for at least, putting it together to be able to coach. Bless you. Thank you so much.
At least I don't have to pay for my one anyway.
I know.
And even if I have to pay, I can afford it. And I know I'm not buying adulterated medications.
You would not be endangering yourself. You're trying to cure yourself. You are right. See, Baba, I appreciate this. You have a good one, okay?
Thank you very much. It's my second.
Hey, sorry. You said what?
It's my second time ever calling you. The first time I spoke to you, I spoke Yoruba. And after the whole thing, you said, I know you're just speaking Yoruba because you want to speak Yoruba, isn't it? I remember you saying that to me.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much, Mario. God bless you. Very good.
Take care of yourself. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Now that's Olufemi there, and a lot of you again. That's one thing about the parliament. All right. People will speak their mind. They will speak their truth. They will share their view. You can as well. All right. And some people are going to relate. They will have connection with your views that enough that it will tell you one thing. However you feel about Nigeria, that you are doubting yourself, on this program, you will get to know that you are not the only person thinking like that or feeling like that. And that's how we're going to discover ourselves, people of like minds. So you also think like that. Wow, I'm so happy that I met you. Oh, wow, then that's how the number will grow. Because those who are currently like lording it over everyone as we speak, they are those who, Now let me take another one. Oh, sorry that I caught you unawares there, sir. So good evening to you, sir. See, I am going to have to speak directly to you now because others are presently, they are not following my rules. And if they don't, there's no point bringing them on. How are you doing, sir? Can you hear me?
Hello, Mayegu. We are hearing you loud and clear.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're speaking to me directly too, sir. I can see you. I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
First of all, I just want to sincerely thank you for all the good work you have been doing.
Thank you, sir.
The whole world, they are praying for you. The whole world are hearing you loud and clear.
That's right.
Our politicians have destroyed our country beyond repair. Until we get people like you speaking to them from time to time, along the line, God will be able to touch them to change. I came to UK 14 September 88. My air ticket to UK was 1,800 naira. As of today now, air ticket from Nigeria to London, average any salary cannot afford it even for 10 years salary. The same country, people are eating and throwing the bin. In the same country, people are stealing billions upon billions every day. Look at the case of the former Attorney General of the Federation, who stole 109 billion. He only returned 30 billion. What happened to the remaining 709 billion? That case will be closed. Look at the level of stealing in Nigeria. Average Nigeria now where they are eating today, they can't possibly think where the tomorrow food is going to come from. The country that is blessed with everything. Mayegu, to the glory of God, I've traveled to nearly all the major cities of the world. There's no country that is as good as Nigeria. But our leaders have used corruption to destroy that country. Look at Tinubu now. Forced himself upon Nigeria as a president. I don't see him as my president. And I don't have to go to Nigeria anymore. This is not Nigeria I used to know. It's not the same Nigeria anymore. Recently in our church in London here, pastor said something that really touched me. When I came home, I was weeping. We're calculating how much is average cost of study for each student for 3 years program. It comes to a minimum of £100,000.
Wow.
Some students are paying £50,000 per annum. Some are paying £50,000 per annum. Some are paying £50,500 per annum just for school fees only. By the time they add the accommodation, upkeeping, transport, we work it to be minimum of 100,000 for the 3 years program. Surprisingly, over 90% of these students, they are doing care job. Care job. And pastor says something that really touches me. He said this is a different level of slavery. He said this is a different level of what? Slavery. Somebody with first degree, second degree, you are doing care job in UK. These are Nigerian children. A country where somebody can still get away with 709 billion with no single punishment. A country where people have stolen 10 billion, they say they pay 500,000 for what they call it. There's a name they give it. If you pay some amount, they let you go. What is it called again?
I think it's called fine.
No, not that. There's a name that plea bargain.
Oh, plea bargain.
Somebody that have taken over $100,000, you bring $20, you bring $30. They say plea bargain. Your sin is forgiven. Look at the people. I even send a very strong message to all Koolu. See all Koolu that are supposed to be roasting in prison. He's not in it.
Yes.
Look at the number of people in Nigeria that is in it. How can the country be good? These are the people that are supposed to be roasting in jail. They are there in the seat of power. See, they were making one statistics. South Korea, Singapore, they took off from almost the same base. Go to South Korea today. Go to Singapore and go and see what is called development. The taxi driver that carried me in Singapore, he said so many things that I say, yes, this is it. He said here in Singapore, he said there's no room for corruption. Whether you still want, I forgot it, I think dollar, whether you still want small or big, he said it's the same punishment. A taxi driver that carried me in Singapore. Thank you for what you are doing. And Almighty God will continue to use you to speak to Nigerian people, to the whole world.
Amen.
And number one problem today in Nigeria is the judiciary. A country where there is no law and order, how can there be development? Anybody can come and do whatever you need to do, you will get away with it. Look at the whole Senate today. Look at the whole House of Assembly. How many people can you point out that they have interest of Nigeria? I can't see one. I cannot. I cannot.
Much, sir.
I cannot.
I mean, I can.
Nigeria is facing a very terrible situation. Our boys and girls who are supposed to be living comfortably in Nigeria, they are here doing care assistant. The job the average English person cannot do. That is what they supported our children to come and be doing in UK. Not only that, the little money they pay them, they take it back from them through rent and taxes. This is the situation. I've said so many things about Tinubu. If they want to kill me, say they can't kill me.
No, they can't. They do not have that chance.
Tinubu is not a Nigerian president. He bought himself into that power. And the whole world will see how we end up.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
End up.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Like
I will continue to pray for you all day and night. I will continue to pray for you. We Redeem declare 50 days fasting and praying, and I'm a part of it by God's grace. I will continue to pray for you.
Amen to that.
Whether they kill us or they don't kill us, one day everybody must die.
One day. I mean, that's the least they can scare us with, okay? all of us will die eventually, right? So, but before we die, we will leave first. You don't want us to leave.
In Jesus' name.
God bless you, sir.
Everywhere is rotting. I was reading an article recently from Sahara Reporter. Nigeria foreign missions, 6 months, no money sent to them. They cannot pay allowances. 6 months. It's on Sahara Reporters.
6 months now.
6 months. I read it, not that somebody told me.
Where is the money? Where is all the money?
Yeah.
What people are asking. Gone.
They will borrow million. They will share it to the Canada and borrow million. As you were explaining, the money they are borrowing, if even the interest, our unborn generation cannot pay it.
No.
It's not for development.
Up to 100 years from now.
Yeah.
They are not ashamed. 2100. This 2100 year, 2100.
Yeah.
My own children are going to have to pay. Their own children will have to pay the debt. Sir, thank you.
Go and see our debt. Go and see Nigeria debt.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly hear what Sir Wole wanted to add. But
maybe my name is not there. Fidelis Ekeneani.
But he only showed up as Fide.
Okay, that is fine.
I will stick to that. Exactly. You see, people will recognize your face more than the name. I promise you. A lot of people have not that face right now, and you have done so amazingly well today. You are like walking, you're like a walking history, and then at the same time, a lot has happened in your lifetime. Your experience you shared with us tonight, and your worries for the future as well.
Do you see this thing I'm putting on my neck? Can you see it?
I can.
This is free something ambulances gave us where I did 15 hours work all night to go and see where Queen Wole, the House of Parliament. In the night, it was very, very cold. Ambulance were giving all this freely.
And then you still have it with you till now.
If they give this one to ambulance in Nigeria, they will be selling it to public.
You will be surprised. Exactly. Thank you so much. Let me quickly switch right there. Some people want me to leave you on, like leave him on now. We want him on. Just give him a break. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to leave you on. Okay. So Sir Alex, usually, right, when you have your shot at the parliament, right, as a parliamentarian, that's it. Except you have something you want to add to what you said before. Is that the case, sir? You want to add more?
Yeah, just quickly.
Brilliant, please.
I completely agree with what others have said. Just one little thing I haven't heard you talk about is the fact that we have people like you in some areas. I mean, in Nigeria, people who have the same thinking. But then I'm thinking to myself, at what point would people of the same like mind come together? Maybe there will be some sort of, I don't know,
like an assemblage where all of these people.
When I Aisha, Yusufu, Dele, Faru, Tibi, something like that, and I believe there are others like that who really know that these people holding the country down, they're not in party with them. They are like you. And I'm thinking maybe if there's this collective effort, maybe that will help to speed things up, to get us to.
Well, I mean, that's so necessary now. I think all of us are beginning to feel like we would have to come together at a point, right? It's just that from experience, a lot of us are also being very careful because we are talking about Nigeria here, where everyone sometimes when you move with people and then they have different sort of agenda in a way. But you see those names you mentioned, we can take them for their words and their public records, which makes a lot of sense. So the last time I spoke, I think the last time I had David here, David Hundeyi. So it was also an idea we muted. And the idea was that all these identified, individuals, right, who have, platforms that have a massive following, right? So we can, not just only that we can bring all of this together under one singular platform or a movement or something that is really frontal. But yeah, it's a beautiful idea. But there are other things, there are other factors that I can sense are going to make it a little bit slow, but it is not impossible. Okay. Part of them is the fact that somebody like me right now, I am not interested in Nigeria election or Nigeria what have you. Do you get that now? Now, if I have, if I have my way, I would want the group, the group of everyone who wants to do something about Nigeria, right? I would want a group of people who are there promote a total overhaul of a system, which means this current one needs to go first. And that is something like a revolution. And a revolution, you know what I mean, right? So, but me, because I can't have my way, I have to meet others in the middle. That is where your idea, that's why I said it is not impossible. It is possible. So when somebody like me who can believe that, okay, would I still have my way to have, for example, an autonomous Yoruba region, the list that can be agreed on, or a sovereign Yoruba nation, independent Yoruba nation, right? So maybe if somebody like me who knows that there are going to be steps here and there before we eventually arrive at the last destination. So teaming up with people, that time I can then sort of somehow like meet them in the middle. I'm talking about me now. And I can say a lot of people who also feels like me, if they are looking for an answer to your question, this should answer it, okay? That simply means that I want Yoruba nation, right? This one said that those who are currently in charge of Nigeria will never make that happen. They will kill us. They will criminalize us. They will jail, do all of that, right? But if people can come together and get rid of them to a point where all of us can be able to now have that conversation of how do we go about this? Who wants to go? Who wants to stay? And all of that stuff. An atmosphere where such conversation, which is democratic, but they are criminalizing it. So around that time, that argument will make somebody like me then be able to sit with the obedient, for example, with the revolutionary now as well, with the Biafrans and everybody, and say, okay, you know what? If all of us come together, get rid of these guys, now this is the resolution of all of us. Would you agree that this is going to be part of the whole thing? For example, now you don't tell me that let us first chase them away first. We can come back to this. No. It has to be clearly written that this group of people coming together, they have what is so daring to them. But if coming together to get rid of these people is the first step, you have to include our own demand in your own resolution. So that when you get rid of them, we don't start another war with ourselves. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So these are things that we can look into, and eventually all of us can indeed. And I'm looking forward to that. That's why I've got my studio now. I can have physical meetings with people of like minds, and you'll be surprised at what could happen. Baba,
God bless you.
Amen.
Do you know the best way to go is regional? If Yoruba people want to remain in darkness, so be it. If Igbo people want to develop their country and make it look like the first world war, fourth world, so be it. I think that is, like you rightly said, you're wise, and I totally agree with you.
Here you get, and that's where people are misunderstanding Showore. That is why a lot of people Showore is like, there are some people who wanted to control Nigeria their way. But their way is not going to be the Nigeria way eventually. You are just going to be glossing over the problem. Nigerians need to decide if they want to live together or not. That conversation needs to happen.
Definitely.
You get that now? So any politician that is not clear about it is wasting everybody's time. So Showore now said, these guys who said they want to rescue Nigeria and all of that stuff, if they are not in part of destroying and completely wiping out the current system, and he doesn't believe in them. I don't believe in them too.
Neither me.
He said we can all compromise and meet midway if our wants align.
Look at the Great Britain. Well, doing their own stuff. Scotland doing their own, Northern Ireland, and England.
Yes. Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England, where England there.
Yeah. Thank you, Baba. Yeah.
Anyway, Wally, if you are still going to be around, sir, you can hang around. Okay, I've got some new parliamentarians here. I also still have Sir Fide still with us, sir. Okay, Well, Sir Wolex is done with us, and I think his question is answered, right? However, Elder Fide, I'm going to keep you around though, so that as you are there, you are already putting together another mind-boggling facts. Some of them, some people in the comments are like, oh,
as long as your program is on, I'll always be a part of it.
God bless you.
Now, let me go to
our newcomers. Sir?
I will always be a part of this.
God bless you, sir.
In Jesus' name, yes.
Yes, sir. So now I'm going to our newcomers who want to add their own views, the parliamentarians that I just have. One of them is Walter Ochiozo. I don't know if I pronounce that, Baba, but thank you. I also have here Sir Kenneth Lawrence. Ken, you will be the master of disguise. See, somebody like you should be a spy. But what it fits you well, you can look so different and so many times and other. Anyway, I'll come back to you, Ken. So it's going to be Walter. Sir Walter, I will have you, speak next, please. You might need to unmute yourself as well, but maybe I should help you. Let's see if that works, or you would have to do it yourself. Please. Can you hear me? I think the line is even frozen.
Yeah, am I going?
Oh, you can.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. You can.
Okay. Good evening to you. I'm not really going to speak too much. Mine is just to say happy birthday to you. I didn't get a chance to call in when it was your birthday. Just a couple of few things to say. I wouldn't waste too much time. One of them is just a surprise when you told us on your birthday that when you initially started out, with Mayegun as Mayegun, people were dragging you and all of that. When they noticed that they couldn't get through to you, they then went to your wife. I was really surprised, to hear that people can go that low. I mean, come on.
I know it wasn't just my wife. They went for my children too. They published their image. Do you know what they said? One of them even said, I left Nigeria, ran away from Nigeria because I raped someone. All of this just to defend politicians in there.
They are sick in their brain.
So it was when he was arrested that they now told me that he's a twin. Their mom is suffering. They're just struggling. I should please forgive him and all of that stuff. Well, the rest is history. That's how much they came for me when they couldn't touch me, like you said. But Walter, go on.
It's really unfortunate, Baba. It's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, the people that these guys are trying to defend don't even have their interest at heart. I mean, they don't have anybody's interest at heart, So I ask myself why we keep doing this, because if you think about it, what is there to gain from these types of actions defending our politicians? Because it's just little crumbs. That's why you call those guys crumb eaters, crumb chasers, and all that and all that. And it kind of rings true because that is the case. If a politician is taking, let's say, 100 billion and so on and so forth, I don't think he would be able to offer up to 1% or 0.1% of what he steals to his sycophants. So it's mind-boggling, Jerry. It's mind-boggling. The other one which I'd want to say before I go is I just got laughing when you showed us the situation of Abu Abel and his land and all that, saying he was his land was being taken away from him and so on and so forth. It got me laughing because of the video you added at the end of the day. That young man who was crying and then ended up laughing. But it just gives me the idea now that
You remember, he said, Nigerians, come and help me. Oh, I was like, really?
Yeah,
you're coming.
Yeah. So it just shows that this our guy we have there in government is like he doesn't have friends, so to speak. It's like he turns his friends to fools eventually, or maybe people who thought they were his friends, so to speak. It's crazy. I mean, there are such similar stories like that, in Lagos, or so many people who ended up losing their property. I think my dad is even one of such people. You know, it was as bad as he was even being threatened. Say, if you keep fighting for this land, you may end up losing your life or something. You know, it's like that. It's crazy. You know, but then that's where we are. You know, in Nigeria, and you know, these whole things have got to change. Like I said, I wasn't going to spend so much time. So, Maegu, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Walter, for being part of it too. God bless you, Baba. You have a good one, okay? So that's Walter there. But I am going to go to Kenneth. So it will be your shot, sir.
Yeah, good evening, parliamentarians.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, so I'm glad to be here. I'm very excited to be here because at least I would say fresh from Nigerian trip.
Lucky you. I wanted to say that you look like somebody who has been so over pampered even in that Nigeria that despite all the trouble, you're looking good.
Oh my God,
but you don't look like the waiting you have been through.
But because I was ducking and dodging based on
so apart from being a very good spy material, you're also a very good dodger. Talent.
And then keep in mind that there was a show you did where you gave guidelines on how to guide yourself when you get to.
He's dodging my question. You are a politician. I said you don't look like what you have been through. You are looking so good enough that you are not a good picture to say Nigeria is not okay. But again, you are just good at how you probably handled it, yeah? You are so welcome back. Anyway, so how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well. Still here, Baba. Same old, same old.
So, my take would be, I will try and just zero and narrow it down to my experience in Nigeria. So, when I got to Nigeria, just like I always anticipate, and based on your shows, everything about what we need to guide and protect ourselves whenever we get to Nigeria. So, but what I saw during my first week over there was a clear indication that this was a country that was not just collapsing, but it's like sitting on the gunpowder, just waiting to blow up. That was exactly what I saw there. And I'm not saying because I saw it because I'm trying to be negative. No, I'm trying to be objective based on what I am seeing in real time. Why?
Thoughts that you believe that if they happen in America, there will be no peace anywhere, right?
But in fact, there will be civil war and all sorts of crises.
But you saw Nigerians just getting along.
I don't know how they do it. I have no idea how these people are surviving in the states for which they are. The level of hunger there now, it's so horrific. You can't get a correct word in there to qualify exactly what they are dealing with there. And this again, Michael, they are the same Olori Buruku. Don't forget, they are the same Olori Buruku that put this what does he call himself? The drug kingpin.
Koolu.
They are the one that put him there. They are the same one now crying that they are dying. And that's why I said, that's why you always say, Michael, if you remember that these people, Nigerians in particular, they are not redeemable. You can't redeem them.
They love their oppressors so much that you go scare you. It's unbelievable.
Exactly. That's on one side, Maegu. Then when you now talk about the cost of item, the cost of living there, Maegu, that one is another different ball game in its own. Because now you have people who cannot even afford where they say they are living. They are now building some kind of what is that place? Owodoshoki side. There's where they build all these shanky house near the water like this. That's where most of them are even trying to relocate now to see whether they can afford those kind of places. Not even inside the town. No. Not even inside the town.
It's getting to a stage whereby instead of becoming like what am I even saying? Like people are becoming homeless too. Not just hunger, not just
hunger. It just goes on and on. See, the average worker cannot tell you category can tell you that that salary that is earning, even if it's 100,000 or 200,000, it's not even enough. Can't even get anywhere. Do you know that I managed? Okay, I said, okay, you know what? Let me see how things are like in terms of cost of living. A plate of food I bought, a plate, and I'm saying with all sincerity, parliamentarian, a plate of food I bought there was 6,000 naira.
From where?
From Ikeja, you know that Isaac John.
Yeah.
Of mobility bank Anthony, because the hotel I stayed is another area. Then I thought, I said maybe it's because of the area where I was. You know what I did? I now went to Olaya, the one in Surulere, and then went to another place that is somewhere in Pako Aguda. The price difference is not even that much. It's like about 500 naira difference. So if you are eating 3 square meal a day, calculate that number per even what the person is even earning. This is me because I can afford it. Don't forget to.
I know.
I can afford it, fine. But what about people who cannot?
Well,
look at the cost of that. And then you're talking about crime rates not going to be high. People will not go into. You have got to be kidding me. Really? It is that bad, man. Remember the last time I spoke to you when I called in, I told you, it is bad though. This one not be saying I was told. This one I'm seeing it in real time, live and direct. It is bad.
But when you interacted with people,
yes,
I don't know if you did, right? When you interacted with them, this time around, you like physically probably just throwing it to them and all that. Like, what were their like kind of reactions or the way they are?
I can give you that answer straightforward. It's very simple. Don't forget, see that question? It comes in different category of the people you meet.
Big two, yeah, okay.
Now there are some, they will tell you, and I hate that word. They will say we are used to it. How the heck do you then get used to that? That's ridiculous. That's one. There are some you meet, they will tell you that in God we trust. Really? God will leave his position and come and help you when you're not helping yourself. Then there's another one you will meet. They will tell you that we don't know it was going to be like this. So if we know it would have done things differently. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Because why? Because the evidence and the facts are there. It is because they are Olori Buruku and they are the people who have continuously put Nigeria in this quagmire.
That's right.
So that's why I say it depends on who you are interacting with. Now, the ones
generally, you will say they are not as agitated as they are angry online. If you will say the few you interacted with, did you see that? The kind of urge to say, man, things are really tough.
If it's or Mushin, or those places where you really have poverty beyond unthinkable, yes, you might likely see really the true anger of how people feel. You understand?
Right.
Unfortunately, I grew up in Mushin. You know, I will try to go there, but the people I'm interacting with, they kind of look like maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe it's not affecting them. But
like those ones that are still above water, they complain, but they are still all right.
Exactly. But just in parliamentarian, and I'm saying to the parliamentarian, the truth is the truth. This is the truth. Yeah, that the country itself is naturally sitting on the gunpowder, just waiting to blow up. And Nnamdi Kanu and the Sodibu have said this thing over and over and over again. That what we have is not a government. What we have is a quagmire. It's a mess. A situation whereby we don't have any government. What we have are just vampires, jokers who are not trying to accept the fact that this is the reality that Nigeria is dealing with here. Pound sterling now is almost 2,000, right, Maegu?
I'm telling you, dollar is over 1,500 today.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of time. Look, all I'm just saying here is this. This is my take. And I want to, this is my final thing. Is that, Maegu, you have said it over and over again. For how many years? You've said it, and just like every time you have said it, it's exactly the way it is playing itself out here. I don't care anybody coming to threaten you, do this or say this and that. I don't. You know what? They can do that for. They will not. They can't do shit. Nothing to you. The truth is the truth. He will speak truth to power. You understand? Well, one day history will remember them for what they stand for and what they believe in. And I'm glad to be part of this parliamentarian. I'm glad to be part of this program because guess what? It's not just because my eyes are open, but it is exactly every time I watch your show and I take the opportunity to go to Nigeria, I see what I see. I'm like, Jesus, I am blessed. I thank God for my ego. My ego, please don't let them intimidate you.
It's too late.
Whatever they want.
Okay, it's too late now, Ken. All of them don't go make mistake. Allow me open studio. See, now go come they like increase your prayers for me. Like, where this my ego is going now? Is this not too fast now? No worry. Whatever happens henceforth, right? Just know that I'm
back. We have you back. You understand? We got you back. Let them throw out their grenade and bomb.
They are no more than us. It's just a lot of us are afraid to stand up. We'll make those who are afraid to stand up. They will not be afraid.
I am with you, Maego. That's what I want you to know. I got your back. I am.
Let me go to unpredictable.
Thank you.
You can hang around in case if you have one or two things you might want to add as well later, all right? Okay. But I'm going to go to the unpredictable. The last I heard was like the unavailable. Now we have Mr. Unpredictable. Now, surprise me. How are you doing, sir?
Bayegu. You are too much, my brother. God bless you.
God bless.
I mean, anytime I get to, this is actually the first time I will find my way here at the parliament. First time. It's supposed to ring bell for me. You know.
I know. Bless you. You've always been in that comment section, and I've like
at the fire there. And I'm real, man. So here's the thing. We can go on and start listing all the things that are wrong with Nigeria. We already know. Listen, for the fact that you could see the drama you saw yesterday, because of football. That's enough reason for you not to even worry about them. Look, I don't worry about anybody. I have family there. I get people there, plenty. I don't worry anymore. And I'm able, before now, I'm not able to tell them how exactly I feel, but now I'm so strong. I can literally tell them now, say, what now they go through Shegeba, maybe Shege kill all of them, I'm gonna die quick. And they tell them now, Initially, they were like, why do they talk like this, So, I'm part of it, so many groups, as a matter of fact. So there's this one, my secondary school group. Some had literally got upset with me, like, Alex, listen, it don't better for you. I said, no, listen, all of us were all part of the same shiggy. I'm the one who called from Chicago one time, and I told you, Nigeria happened to me. It's me. Okay, direct with police. Now, do you know that I actually forgot a story that I had the day I watched Sheun Kuti talk about the kidnappers as the police? I didn't even remember my own story. That I now remember just a few days ago because some other persons were talking about kidnapping and how it was done and how he escaped to one. I was like, wait a minute. I can't remember what year it was. Baba, between Ore and Oluku, if you're very conversant with Lagos, Benin, police stopped. It was my friend's car. There were 4 of us in the car. Police stopped us, asked for the guy's papers. He brought them out, showed them everything was right. Then he now mentioned something that I've never heard before. The next thing I said he was going to take us to the station. So we're like, well, yeah, take us go to that station now. Make we see what you want proof to us. Everything correct. So we didn't know. Long time ago, my Baba, kidnapping never started. This guy just turned off. He took us off the road. He asked one of our friends that was sitting in front to come to the back. So we're now 3 at the back. Then the police guy sat in front with my friend driving with a gun cocked to his leg.
Wow.
Long time ago, this thing that they tell you, so maybe that should be like 2004.
Wow.
Thereabout. Yeah, or 2006. So kidnapping has not really started. But Baba, we were kidnapped that day because this guy veered us off the road. We were driving inside the bush, and we kept on asking him,
and they were
go? Yeah, police guy, Mopo guy, where will they go? He said the station is, he now said it was 88 kilometers. Wow. And I said, so we just kept on asking him, so when we don't drive like 20 minutes or so, I said, come on, man, wait a minute. I don't know where that anger came from. I banged my hand at the back of the seat in front of, I just banged my hand on the seat. I said, hey, Joe, turn this car back. What did they worry you? Turn this thing back. So the guy was now scared. And I found out that the police guy was actually scared because it was just him. So my friend stopped, turned the car back, went back to the express road. So on getting there, I just back, open the door. So I literally like yelled and asked the police guy to get out of the car. Then other officers came and they were like, what did it happen? I said, this guy just carry us enter bush. We don't know where would they go. What happened? He asked us for papers. We showed him. He asked outside the guy said, make una they go. Do you know we froze for us up to, we started talking to ourselves in the car, maybe around Unibank Gate. You know, when we got to that, we're like, wait a minute, what happened just now? And I said, Joe, this guy for Joe, what if he just started shooting at us? So the other friends were like, man, Alex, thank you, man. Where you get that kind of mind? I said, I don't even know where the mind come from. I just reason I say, where would they go? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So that's Nigeria for a long time. Okay. So now I've been paying attention to what everybody has been saying, and I just look at everybody, they laugh. Mr. Ken, who just left the screen now, you know, is just analyzing how food is expensive. Look, to be honest with you, cost of living in Nigeria is not high compared to anywhere abroad. The only problem is that money not there to take run out. So country is okay. Let's look at this. Let's be logical now. Do you know that people still do parties in Nigeria and they shut down the clubs and they shut down the streets? They carry the best of artists, they carry the best of comedians, and they pay them and they have a good time. It's the cash flow. There's no cash flow in Nigeria. That's why it looks like as if cost of living is so high. No, it's not. When I told somebody how much I buy bread in the United States, for instance, and he converted it, he stopped complaining. And I said, dude, the only thing is that I got to get out and work. And the job is there. That's the difference. So there's no work in Nigeria. That's why it looks like, how much are they buying petrol, for instance, compared to what we pay here? You know what I mean? So,
well, it's not just that the job is not there. Even if you get the job, right?
Yeah.
The minimum wage is so ridiculous.
Exactly. That's the cash flow. That's what I mean by cash flow. So the cash flow is not even there. So now, we can be here forever talking about this thing. It's not going to change. No. Why? Because it is embedded in the people. The people are so impoverished to the point that they cannot see anything wrong with what the oppressors are doing. They are cool with it. If I were, who would ever say that what Gbajabiamila was doing in Lagos some couple of days ago, throwing stuff, and who would ever say they will still have that kind of crowd coming out to come and even see this people? I get what I'm saying. Baba, listen, if people never vex, stand up for church. When your pastor is telling you, stand up, let's pray for Nigeria, somebody supposed vex, walk go the altar, grab the pastor, grab the microphone. Which Nigeria you they pray for? No, the revolution should start from there. Until we get to that point, Baba, with a joke.
You know?
I get what I'm saying? That's the reality. Okay, a country that is, let's take a chill pill now. Just imagine Senegal. Election never reach you. He never even reach. It's still different. The guy just say, hey, it's been postponed indefinitely. Look at the reaction.
You know,
the guy can as well turn around and say, I just a test and I joke at the joke. You know, but listen, there are some certain things that's why Nigerians will be taken for granted forever. So I don't even care personally. Whoever is watching this YouTube, may they watch and well, me not send again. Do you know why? I left Nigeria when I left with a scripture on my mind. It's called Psalm 24, verse 1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, which means that anywhere I eventually start living and I die there, I will be buried to the earth, and the earth is the Lord's. So it doesn't matter where you die. Do you understand?
So you have developed that philosophy that wherever you have your peace of mind,
that's my bro. You know why, bro? To be honest with you, my last name. Funny enough, my last name is a Yoruba name, but I've been doing my research and I found out that I'm not Yoruba, right? I'm an Edo guy, but I've been trying to ask questions. So how come I have a Yoruba last name? So which simply means that I don't even know exactly where I'm from, literally. So why should I now be bothered about some geographical zone that is not ready to accommodate humans, and then I'll now like kill myself for them? No, I'm not going to do that. Are you get what I'm saying? So that is my own personal mindset. Some people might not like the way I'm saying it, but to be honest, I'm going to do my kids some favor to help them, grow and give them good education, get them right to the best of my ability. When I always tell my kids, I say, look, my dad. I said, do you know my dad? I ask them all the time. I say, no, not my papa. They say no. I say, you are lucky. You know me. I'm going to just help you. I said, but a time will come, I will no longer be here.
No.
So whatever you do will be on you. That will be your decision. That will be your life. But I'm just going to do my best for you. It's as simple as that. So I'll keep telling them. It's the same thing. We cannot do too much. Now, like I was saying, we can go on and talk about all the wrongs, everything that is wrong with Nigeria. My brother, to be honest with you, until we are able to reach one point and you make your personal decision to say, hey, this is my own personal decision to either live or die. End of story. Now, before I run, I've been thinking about this thing. I go listen, and all my fellow members, listen. Something is telling me that because Nigeria is going to break up, and these guys are so aware, they know. They probably know what we don't know. Now, I am beginning to think that is why they are ruining everything, stealing all the monies, because by the end of the day, to be honest with you, just imagine that Nigeria breaks up right now. Who is IMF going to hold that is owing them money? And the reason I'm
big question. People even said that that's the reason why Nigeria cannot break.
And the reason I'm saying,
China want you to pay their money.
Who are you going to hold? Because the truth about the matter is just imagine.
Or do you know there is an answer for it? You want me to answer it? Do you know who they are going to hold, right?
Talk to me.
You see, all the money they borrowed in Nigeria, in the name of Nigeria, majority of them were attached to some of the bogus projects that they said they are doing everywhere. So us for example, now, all of now we did the middle belt delta, the deltas, right?
Yeah.
Those of you are in the Benin, Niger Delta, the kind of class you are, right? All of now we did there. If there's any federal government projects, we then borrow money to do. So if you are breaking up, you would have to pay the debt. I mean, you would have to share.
Baba, I'm not aware.
I'll go for me now. So, you know that World Bank is also watching. They are probably asking themselves who is going to pay. So let's answer the question, right? So they said that, so everybody will now have to pay his own share according to the project of the federal government in your own area. Now, the first people that said, if we know the craze, just don't mention our name. They are the Igbos. They do not have any single federal government project in the entire eastern Nigeria. That will shock you. Sometimes some people hear that and they're like, that's impossible. What about road? What about hospital? You have no idea. It's a long story. No single federal project in the entire Igbo.
Baba, we'll meet in court. That court case no go end forever.
Now, you never even hear the detail. Already. You don't have para say more. So some are now saying that others will then get project for any other places, so we'll go pay. Right. But you know what people now said? So what will now happen to all our, especially your own side there? They said, what happened to all the oil that Nigeria has been taking? So does that mean that all of that oil, we are still in debt? Una the mentor, come and collect it now. Yorubas are like, so despite all the VAT, all the taxes that you're collecting from us for years that you are sharing, so you are still saying that we owe money. Oh yeah, now when Yoruba nation come and collect the money. You see the Northerners, those ones are pretty much like, well, if the Igbos are not paying, if the Yorubas are not paying, if the Benin are not paying, we are not paying too. So last, this whole money they borrow them, you would have to find a means to write it off. I mean, like at the end of the day. Because
that's what I'm thinking. Because Baba, see, let me tell you, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I sat down one day, I started analyzing this because I don't get it. Why should I have so much food stocked up in my house, and then I'm stealing my own food and selling it, and then eventually the house burns down, and then I'm no longer existing. Then let me say the state that I'm in, the authorities coming after me to come pay the remaining mortgage, for example. You know, who are they going to hold now? Everybody die now. Me, Papa, Mama, children die. Who are you going to hold? You know, so I started thinking about it like that for Nigeria, and probably this is what these guys are thinking. Because, to be honest, how did we get to the point where you were able to put people into a contraption and you said this na Nigeria, keep them like this, keep them like this? You know, how did you do that then without agreement, without discussion, without considerations? Because you have to consider what will work for me and work for you. You know, so I just sat down and said, wait a minute, they cannot be say these guys, that is what they know, you know, because by the end of the day, we don't borrow money, we don't chop all the money, who will pay? Now you just gave me a clearer understanding of how, you know, it might probably look like if that happens.
Okay, because one day all people who borrowed that money, some of them are dead, Abby, some of them are still going to be alive and all of that stuff, right?
Exactly.
None of them will be part of any new country that emerges from that breakup, or any decision that says autonomous this or that. Whatever it is that is decided. At some point, you see all that debt, they go write them off. And somebody said they can't write it off. Okay, yeah.
Baba, God will bless. That's what I am thinking, and I will not be too surprised if it happens that way, because to be honest with you, that is where Nigeria is heading to. There's going to be a break, and it might not even come with a revolution. It might not come. It might not come with some destructions. I don't think so. There will be some disagreement. That's what I just feel, that one day somebody who is right inside Tinubu's camp will just wake up and say, Baba, this is not a fly again. Now people are dying, this is happening, that is happening. Then there will be that confusion, and then those discussions will start.
Yeah.
Because nothing is making sense anymore. No, nothing is making sense.
I know. You remember when I said that the resources they have, the power they wield, right? The only thing that will destroy them is when they begin to destroy themselves.
Exactly.
We just must make sure that all of us that are all talking and hearing all these things and understanding this, when they start destroying themselves, we should not hire ourselves to save them again. So if we can get enough people educated that once they start destroying themselves, what we should do is to add fuel and help them to further destroy themselves. That's why we are doing what we are doing. I will
Thank
go
you so much.
God bless you. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
so here we go. Sir, we are now talking about, the people's way of coping. And I don't know if you have come up with any other thing you want to add to what you have already told us, okay? You are you know what I mean? Like, you are here already. So let's take it there, sir. I'm talking to you, Safide.
Thank you very much.
Bless you, sir.
Regarding the issue of money the federal government are borrowing, that the time will come, if they not pay the money will be written off. That is a very woeful thinking. I remember of a country, one of the West Africa countries, whom Chinese built port and an airport for. It came to a time the African country could not pay the debt. The Chinese government take a reasonable year to recover the money they spent in building that port. Any of you should have.
I think it's Zambia or so. I think I know this
country, yes. So if that is the way they are thinking, it's a big joke, a very big joke. Another thing I want...
in the debts, even if we break up.
Even if they break up, the debt was already taken before breaking up, and the debt will be tied with any project they took the loan on. They will pay it, they will pay it. They either seize our airport or they seize our refinery to recover their money. That is one. Look at this to tell you that Nigeria is rotting beyond repair. Unless God himself come from above to say, God, enough is enough. How can anybody convince any of us on this platform that a group of people who are doing kidnapping, they will kidnap people, they will ask for heavy money to be paid to them before they release the person kidnapped? This money, how is it paid to them? And has anybody ever been brought to book for creating this havoc in the society? The money is paid to them either in cash or bank transfer, I don't know. And why nobody has ever been brought to book that you are behind this crime and this crime will not allow to continue? That is one. Secondly, look at nearly every state in Nigeria. There is insecurity. Please tell us or make your own research how much each governor collects every month for what they call security vote. For security vote, where is the security in each of these states? Another thing I would like to say, look at Yakub Mahmoud. Look all the mess, look all the pain it cost Nigeria. Yakub Mahmoud have never been asked one day to come and explain to Nigeria what he meant by glitches in the presidential election. As long as Mahmoud remain in the next election, they should just allow only APC to continue. Nobody should even bother to come and
waste their time or their life.
In the history of Nigeria, on the history of the whole world, I've never heard where a result is announced where nearly half of the people of that country, they are still asleep. Look at the time Mahmoud announced the election result. How many Nigerians were awake that time? That is to tell you that something is planned. Yakub Mahmoud, who committed a very serious offense, the same Mahmoud Yakubu was referring the opposition to go to court, knowing fully well the opposition will never get justice. Have we got justice? The answer is no.
No.
How many people has ever been brought to book for kidnapping up to today? Look at millions. Look at the one that happened recently. The man they kidnapped, I think about 4 daughters.
Yeah.
1 daughter from ABU.
And the Nabias in
Thank you very much. Thank you. After collecting some ransom, they still kill one of the daughters.
They did.
How can just a country ever move forward? Up to today, look at the money police are collecting. Look at the money everybody is collecting for security. Where is the security? You are going to your country, you are going in fear, you may not return. I know a pastor in London here, about a few years ago. He went to Nigeria. He never returned. Kidnapper. A lady from US. The first time the daughter followed them to Nigeria, some of you must have heard this story. They caught them on the way. They went holiday. The first time the daughter went, they were raping the daughter, they were raping the woman, they were raping the husband at the same time.
I remember this story.
Thank you. How many people has ever been brought to book? These people, are they ghosts?
They are not.
They are not ghosts. They are human beings. This is a country that criminals are triumphing. The real criminals, they are triumphing in a country called Nigeria. I, for one, the major people that are our problem in Nigeria, they are judiciary and the churches. I will say it even if I stand anywhere in Nigeria. These are the two bodies. In a situation where we cannot get justice, in a situation where we are praying, we are looking for where they will drop free envelope for you, we are going nowhere. Now, the country is going nowhere. The country is going nowhere. My brothers and sisters who are on this parliamentary platform, check how much security vote each governor collect every month. Where does this month go unaccounted for?
And there is security anywhere.
Where
So
is security?
of that security vote?
Where is the security?
Money.
Millions of they collect every month, unaccounted for.
Thank you so much, sir.
I thank God for your life for educating the whole world, not only Nigeria. The whole world are listening to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. You have been so wonderful tonight, and I hope the next time you hear our call, you'll be part of this again, sir.
I always look out for this program to come up.
God bless you. I appreciate that.
God bless.
Ken, I'm going to have you also add maybe another 2-3 minutes to what you have already said, just before we call it a night. So, Ken, please.
Yes, just to add to what our brother, our elder, just said now, is that, you know, look at their part when he talks about the problem of Nigeria is the church and the judiciary. It goes far beyond that. The state is bought. The state has been captured, Mayogu. So as it is now, what we have is a drug baron, criminals, vampires who have taken over the apparatus of the state. The state is being run like a private enterprise. Your videos and evidence of things people are running the country like a private enterprise is there for anybody to see. So, are they listening to the masses? The answer is no. We know that. Is anything going to change? Of course, nothing is not going to change because they are running the whole place like a private enterprise. On the final note, whatever we say here as parliamentarians, we're going to keep saying the truth and speak truth to power. And that is what I believe, that at some point, things will move, things will happen. How they are going to happen, I don't know. But what I do know is that we will continue to play our own role here to speak truth to power. But eventually, at some point, you understand, my ego?
Something will give. You know, when you keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing and you're not giving up, you know something, right? Something is eventually going to what? It's going to give.
Yes.
Of course, I agree. Thank you so much, Ken.
Thanks. Bye.
So these are my parliamentarian for tonight, and they have done so greatly well. I've managed to kick some of them out. Okay, so I had about 3 of us who were behind this studio, and I don't know why people do that. Okay, it's like they were not intending to participate in the conversation. They just plugged in to listen, and that's quite interesting. So thanks to everyone who has been part of this. My parliamentarians have done greatly well. They have added their views to what you have heard from me as well, okay? And again, whatever you pick from all the conversation tonight, just know this. What you do with it is up to you. Because tomorrow is still going to be what? Tomorrow is going to be another day. What you do with this information you have come across today is totally up to you. But one thing you will never be able to say is to lie that you didn't know. And there's difference between not knowing something, being ignorant of something, or being in the darkness of what is going on, than knowing what is going on and pretend you don't. You know what we say in Yoruba? You can only wake somebody who is sleeping. You cannot wake somebody who is pretending. And if you are one of those who pretends that you have no idea what is going on in Nigeria, or you are feigning ignorance, listen to me, you do know. So whether you do something or you don't do something, do you know that as much as we say there are consequences for every action, there are consequences for inactions too. I just thought you should know. It's this whole thing is not one-way traffic. It's a two-way traffic. All right? When you are supposed to act on something and you fail to act on them, when the consequences of not acting comes back biting, it burns. It's similar to inaction too. When you're supposed to do something, okay, hang on. Actions and inaction. Let's start with the action. When you decide and take action on something, the consequences, good or bad, will come back biting. There is also consequences for not taking action, pretending that you didn't know. So pretend that you didn't know when you do know. Listen to me. Also have consequences of its own. So if you come across these broadcasts and you laugh it off, you call it all talks. Now nothing there really kind of matter to you. Trust me. When you become a victim of the failed system in Nigeria, you are going to remember everything you heard on Mayegun's Diary Politico, everything. Like you can deny, you can brush it up, you can, pretend that this is not even happening. Oh, you are just an alarmist. Oh, you're a propagandist. Call me names and all that. Okay? Deny that you ever even pick anything from this. But when you become a victim of that failing system, or failed system, I swear to God, ask others. If you live to tell the story, you will remember everything that you know from this platform. Until then, I wish you safe, and I do wish you what you wish yourself as well. Personally, I wish you all the best. But there's nothing like praying that whatever you wish yourself, I wish you same. Do you understand that, right? Because I don't think you ever wish anything bad on yourself, right? I don't know your heart. As you leave this broadcast here tonight, just remember, actions have consequences, and political actions have political consequences, including economy and governance, you say. Thanks for spending your evening with me. I will be back here tomorrow. Inshallah, I will be here. Or you can join me in my studio tomorrow when I kind of continue to put all the stuffs together. Everything is coming together right now. Everywhere is so dirty, so roughed up. There are boxes everywhere. There are papers, the bags and all that. However, by this time next week, once they set up the broadband for the old studio, I probably will be broadcasting to all of you from the Temple of Truth headquarters here in Glasgow. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much again for your time. I will see you some other time. Enjoy your evening and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Mayegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.